Well, you talk about earlier talking to younger skaters who are maybe is struggling with body image and that sort of thing. But you've also spoken out about your struggle with addiction, with alcoholism, and that's something
Yes.
that so many people, myself included, have struggled with as
So,
well. When you look back on that period of your life, what do you wish you had at that time? If you could go back, what advice would you have given a younger Ty, and what advice would you give someone who's struggling with alcoholism?
well, mine happened innocently. It happened later in my professional skating career. It wasn't an amateur. It happened while I was on the road, touring 9 months out of the year with Ice Capades, fresh out of being an amateur, really green, really naive, no parents to do, everything else. As an amateur, all we had to do was skate, and everything else was kind of taken care of by our coaches or our parents. So all of a sudden, I'm out on the road, and I'm just really unsure of myself. And it started simply with a glass of wine because I wasn't sleeping at night, just because I was so stressed and scared and homesick, and just not trusting, not knowing who to trust. And I liked it. I liked how that one little glass of wine made me feel. It enabled me to be more open with people. I have an addictive personality, so the one glass turned into two glasses. The two glasses turned into a bottle. The bottle of wine turned into harder liquor. It escalated in a matter of from 81 until 88 when I crashed. I hit bottom in 88. So it's I don't know. I think communication would have helped if I would have had the tools to say, you know what, I'm scared. Talk to my best friend Randy. I'm scared. I'm nervous. How do I deal with this? He was dealing with it fine. I wasn't quite ready. I didn't know what it was to be a good professional skater. So to mask all the problems, I turned to alcohol. So communication, I think, would have helped, knowing it would be okay to talk to someone. So yeah, and it was 8 years of pretty much nonstop drinking, and I was a functional alcoholic. I was able to drink and not compete and perform up until when I couldn't, and that was 1988 when it all came crumbling down. And here's another thing: I came out with the problem with a cover of People magazine, and they did a movie, made-for-TV movie about the problems I had, and the skating world didn't take too well to that because it showed a dark side. It showed a negative side to our world, and I don't think they were ready for that. And the haters came out. I started reading. They didn't have, I guess they had blogs then, but I started reading reviews, and little things would come from skaters. I would hear, little comments, is she faking it? Is she doing this for the press? Blah, 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 which I wasn't. I came out with the problem because I wanted to clean my slate. It was part of my recovery, just to stop lying. When you're an alcoholic, you become this amazing liar.
Mm-hmm.
This was my way of, stop the madness, stop it all. Here's what happened. And like you, Jenny, how you blew the doors open with the eating, I did with my alcohol problem. I think they get it now. I think people do believe me that it was a problem. But I'm not great at keeping things inside. I feel better when I'm sharing it with fans and friends. As you see on Facebook, I'm very open. But I like that. That's part of my process. That's how I stay sober, is to hear from other people and to hear that, there are other people with problems.
Yeah, you're not alone. You're never alone.
With the eating disorder, this is I think how it has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Just be honest. It's about the honesty. There's no lying. My lying days are over, and I see the good stuff starting to happen when you're honest with yourself and the people around you. It's amazing what the universe. I don't know who's up there,
Mhm.
It's happening. The good stuff is coming to me. I don't have to chase it so much anymore. It's naturally, because there's something with honesty and the universe that works.
I agree. So a lot of the problems that you talk about are things that I think are so prevalent for so many skaters. What do you think the role of mental health should play in the sport? Nancy Kerrigan came out in 1994. I think she's one of the first athletes that talked about using a sports psychologist to kind of get her head right. Because I think as athletes, we're told to suck it up. Back in your day, you guys
Yes.
were interviewed in the Kiss and Cry right when you got off the ice. You didn't have time to really process what had just happened. You had to have that skater face on, that public personality. So I would imagine, just from my own experience, stuffing all of that and not feeling like you could be honest in that moment would be difficult. So do you think there needs to be more of a mental health component for athletes in order to kind of sift through all this stuff that we don't really have the opportunity to face?
It's a great question. I think what Nancy did, it worked for her. I would take it a step further, and not just for the skaters, bring the parents in, bring the coaches into those meetings. I think it's a group effort. They're all involved. Parents are certainly involved. They're paying for everything. Coaches, you're spending more time with the coaches. I think it's more than one-on-one skater psychologist or psychiatrist, whichever. I think I see a group therapy session because everyone's involved, everyone's affected. I'm all for therapy. I started therapy back in 1988 when I had my breakdown, my crash. Mm-hmm. I get it now. I fought it in the beginning. I didn't understand why this person who I didn't know was asking me all these questions, and we had to dig back until when I was a kid and blah, 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 and it scared me. Now it's fascinating to me. I love it. I love piecing together things that I did as a child, even with the eating. It affects me now. But I'm learning that, the seed was planted when I was weighed at 12 years old. I have to get over, got to get over that. But I think it's a combination: coach, skater, parents,
the whole team.
Yeah.
All of them. I think all of them in therapy, because we're all involved. They're all involved.
One thing that we were really struck by is that you, in an interview with the Manly Women's Skatecast, made a comment how John Nix jokes that it's always the girl's fault. And, on a deeper level, do you think that there is a problem where, say that, a throw is mistimed, it's the girl who falls. So
Right.
Do you think there is a problem where often the girl does get more of the blame? Mm-hmm.
Did I really say that? Whoa. Well, with me, it usually was me. I mean, once the boy throws the girl, it's even with Mr. Nix. If you're like this in the air, you got to fight for your landings. So it's, I would say in the throws, yes, the girl is to blame if she does fall. It's kind of the girl's thing. If the girls jump, I would say. Some of the twist and some of the other trick, you know what? I'm not sure. That's a good question. I don't want the girls to get a bad rap, though. You are a team. It's a team effort, so let's I think they both should take the blame.